When it comes to diet, that's obviously a big thing because you probably no doubt burning quite a few calories in all the different workouts you do. What would you say is your primary diet? Are you heavy on carbs, big on vegetables, or what's when Jen is having her good diet? What does that usually consist of?
It's the most important thing is to eat whole foods, whole real foods, and a lot of people when they start working out, they start overestimating how many calories they need. They feel hungrier, or they like, oh well, it's fine if I eat this pan of brownies because I'll just burn it off in the gym. And exercise is not the enormous calorie burner that people make it out to be. The way you look is primarily your diet. So if you see someone who's overweight, that doesn't mean that they don't exercise. That just means that there's something nutritionally that's a little bit out of whack. The plan that I follow probably most closely is called paleo. It's kind of a caveman-esque way of eating. It's a lot of whole foods, a lot of vegetables, a lot of meat, a lot of oil. We are not scared of fat. Like, that's the big thing too. Dietary fat doesn't make you fat. In my opinion, it's the refined carbs that really do you in. So not a lot of that in my diet, except for brownies.
Found her weakness.
I mean, I've got my guilty stuff, but I'm not too worried about it.
I was going to ask you what your food weakness is, but I guess we've learned that already.
Bakery, actually.
Oh, Yum Bakery?
I lived in Minnesota once before this time, and Philadelphia in between those two times. But the first time I lived in Minneapolis, I lived directly across the street from Yum Bakery, and the cupcakes. I mean, I got a little chubby during that time period. And so then when I moved back to Minneapolis from Philly, I was like, I can't go live in St. Louis Park. Like,
too big of a temptation.
Yeah, I gotta stay away from Yum.
When it comes to going to gyms, I know obviously you do some work on your own, probably at home and outside. What are some of the things that you tend to gravitate to when you go to a gym?
I'm usually in the section with boys, and not because there are boys there, but because that's where the free weights are, and that's what I think is most fun. The machines that keep you really contained and your range of motion limited, I'm just not into that. So I'm usually in the pit. I really like sandbags. I really like barbell, kettlebell. I'm a certified kettlebell instructor, so I really love playing with that. Anything that I get to move around with, I'm a fan of.
Okay. Question about your strength. I don't know all the terms as far as lifts, but what are some of your maxes as far as different weights that you lift?
I have a 300-pound deadlift, 135-pound snatch.
Okay.
That you got to insert the joke there. Like, everybody who's outside of fitness can't cope with the word snatch in a gym context. So sorry about that. Clean and jerk of 178 pounds. Let's see what I don't max out terribly often. I don't have my repertoire of maxes. Front squat 200 pounds. I did a photo shoot yesterday.
Okay.
For the column that I write in the magazine called Expert Answers, and it involves a little headshot. And so the photographer, Sarah Rubenstein, who was great by the way, was like, well, we'll have you do things in the gym. And so I loaded up a barbell and did this deadlift, and she said, oh, when you said lift weights, I don't think I knew what you meant. Weight on the bar. And but that's what I aim to do, break the myth. And bust up the myth that you're going to get huge and bulky if you lift heavy weights. Heavy weights are where it's at for women. That's what lifting light weights for many reps. That is what builds bulk, to the extent that women can build bulk at all. But a lot of ladies like to avoid the heavy weights because they think that's what's going to make them big, but the opposite.